This is the point of no return. While 98.7% of people scroll past this warning, you are the 1.8% who clicked to see the truth. We have just received confirmation. Global silver shortages have hit critical levels in February 2026. COMEX registered inventories are now down to less than 32 million ounces, the lowest since the 2021 squeeze, and physical delivery requests have surged 47% in the last 10 days alone. If you are holding silver or sitting on cash, watch every second. The window to position yourself is closing faster than ever. Welcome back to the Silver Insider, your only source for the signals the mainstream buries. Subscribe right now and hit the bell. We are dropping these bombs every single day while the market is this volatile. Let's break it open. The breaking news right now, spot silver is trading around $81, $82 today. But don't let the pullback fool you. Behind the scenes, physical delivery stress is exploding. COMEX registered metal has dropped 9 million ounces in just 2 weeks. Eastern buyers, Shanghai, India, Middle East sovereign funds are quietly taking delivery at 25 to 30% premiums over paper price. This is not speculation. This is structural shortage confirmation, and it's accelerating. The inside analysis, what they won't tell you why, is this happening now. First, industrial demand has gone nuclear. Solar alone is projected to consume over 220 million ounces in 2026 EV batteries. 5G infrastructure, semiconductors, medical imaging all require silver that gets used up forever. Second, military-grade demand is surging hard. Recent defense contracts show advanced missile guidance systems and next-gen radar arrays are doubling silver usage per unit. Governments are stockpiling quietly. The U.S. Critical Minerals Ministerial, February 4th to 5th, was not a discussion. It was a panic response to secure supply before it vanishes. Third, the paper market is losing control fast. COMEX shorts are trapped. Open interest is sitting at multi-year highs while registered metal is evaporating in real time. The $85 bounce everyone called a trap. It was the starting gun. The math is simple and brutal. Supply deficit is now estimated at 180 to 200 million ounces annually. New primary silver mines take 8 to 12 years from discovery to first pour. Byproduct silver from copper and zinc operations won't ramp fast enough to close the gap. This is not a correction. This is the silver endgame, accelerating in real time. Let me take you deeper so you fully understand why this moment feels different from every other dip we've seen in the last decade. First, let's talk about what registered versus eligible metal actually means on COMEX. Because most people never go past the headlines. Registered silver is the metal that is actually available for immediate delivery. Eligible is metal sitting in warehouses that could theoretically be registered if someone wanted to deliver against a contract. Right now, registered inventories are below 32 million ounces, the lowest level since the 2021 squeeze when prices spiked from $25 to $30 in weeks. But the real kicker is the velocity of drainage. In the last 14 days alone, registered metal dropped by another 9 million ounces. That's not gradual erosion. That's a fire sale of physical bars leaving the system. Who is taking delivery? Not retail stackers. They're buying coins and bars at retail premiums. It's institutions, refiners, and sovereign-linked entities quietly standing for delivery on futures contracts. Meanwhile, open interest remains elevated at multi-year highs. That means shorts are still heavily positioned, leveraged bets that silver will stay cheap. But every time someone stands for delivery and pulls metal out, the shorts have to scramble to replace it. The longer this goes on, the more forced buying pressure builds underneath the paper price. Now let's look at the supply side with fresh numbers. Global mine production in 2025 was around 830 million ounces, Silver Institute data. But subtract what's already committed to existing industrial contracts and jewelry. You're left with roughly 200 to 220 million ounces of free silver for investment and new demand. Now, add the demand side. Industrial consumption alone is projected to hit 220 to 240 million ounces in 2026. Solar paste is exploding with new panel factories coming online in India and Southeast Asia. EV contacts and batteries are scaling. 5G rollouts in emerging markets are still accelerating. And defense electronics radar, guidance systems, night vision are consuming more silver per unit than ever before. That leaves almost zero buffer for investment demand, but investment demand is not zero. Central banks, especially in Asia, are adding silver to reserves at levels not seen since the early 2010s. India's silver imports surged 60% year-over-year in Q4 2025. China's state refiners are taking delivery quietly through Hong Kong and Singapore hubs, so the deficit math becomes very ugly. Mine supply plus recycling approximately equals 900 to 920 MOs. Total demand industrial plus investment plus jewelry plus central banks approximately equals 1,080 to 1,120 MOs. Deficit 160 to 220 MOs annually and growing. Now overlay the paper market reality. COMEX is supposed to be the global benchmark. But when physical metal is leaving the warehouse faster than it's coming in, the paper price becomes increasingly disconnected from reality. Shorts are trapped because they cannot source the metal to deliver if too many contracts stand for delivery. The longer they stay short, the higher the risk of a squeeze. The moment one large player decides to stand for delivery en masse, the dominoes fall. That's why the $85 bounce wasn't random. It wasn't dead cat. It was the first sign that physical reality is starting to bleed through the paper facade. Now let's talk about the psychological warfare side. The mainstream narrative is still silver, is just another commodity. Crash proves the bubble is over. Industrial demand will soften with recession fears. But look at the facts they ignore. Solar installations are still accelerating globally, despite higher interest rates. Silver paste is non-substitutable. EV adoption in China and India is structural, not cyclical. Silver usage per vehicle is rising with advanced electronics. Defense budgets are increasing worldwide. Silver is critical in phased-array radar, satellite comms, and precision munitions. These are not discretionary. They are must-have inputs, and governments know it. That's why the U.S. Critical Minerals Ministerial wasn't a photo op. It was an emergency huddle to secure supply before the physical market spirals. So where does that leave us today? The paper price is still being held down by leverage and short positioning. But every day, more physical ounces leave the system. Every day, more contracts risk standing for delivery. Every day, the disconnect grows wider. The $85 level is not resistance anymore, it is support. And the longer it holds, the more trapped the shorts become. The math says $100 is conservative. $118, $125 is the next psychological zone if delivery pressure continues. $150 plus is not impossible if a coordinated stand-for-delivery event occurs. This is not hopium. This is supply-demand reality colliding with a leveraged paper market that was never designed to handle chronic structural deficits. Your wake-up call for the 30.9% of you watching on your TV screens, pause and look at the charts again. The gap between paper and physical has never been wider. The velocity of vault drainage has never been faster. The institutional buying has never been quieter. You have two choices. Stay a new viewer who misses the signals and gets left behind when the squeeze begins. Or join the less than 0.1% of regular viewers who are getting this insider data before it hits the mainstream headlines. Subscribe immediately. Turn on notifications. Comment your silver target below. Is $100 the new floor? Or are we going straight to $118, $125? The next few weeks will redefine everything. The end game is here. Stay ahead. We will see you in the next update. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp. Stay ready.